I'm going to show you guys how to quickly, easily, and safely install a new battery in more modern cars. The reason why I say this is because you can lose all precious settings from your memory settings in your seats or your radio settings in your stereo, as well as your fuel to ratio settings in the actual computer of your car. So stick with me. I'm going to teach you a couple cool little tricks as we go through the video to make this as seamless as possible. So let's go and get started. So the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need something called a memory saver. Now, as we get into the video, I'm going to explain more into detail why you need a memory saver and why they are so great to use. So the tools that we're going to be using are a memory saver, which I'll put a link to on the description in this video. You can buy it on Amazon or eBay or any other one of these online stores. And I believe they actually might have them in physical retail locations as far as like AutoZone as well. We're also going to be using a extension with a 12mm socket, as well as a standard 10mm socket. The extension is so you can get the bracket off for the batteries, so you can just easily take out that battery and put the new one in. All right, let's go ahead and actually get to the memory saving part to see why we really need this. Come follow me. So the actual memory saver is going to keep all of your preset settings inside of your car stable while we remove the power source. This is very important because this can affect everything from your presets in your seats all the way to your fuel mix ratio from the computer system inside your car. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this memory saver and we're going to hook it up to the actual OBD reader. So the OBD reader in this car, which we are replacing in a Kia Optima, is right here. So if you can see the OBD, we're going to go ahead and plug this in nice securely. So we know that that's in now. So once we get power to this light, we know that this is active and it's going to keep all of our settings. So you can either plug this in to a direct 12-volt outlet. I actually have a jumper battery here, so I could actually use this connection and I could go directly positive to positive and negative to negative, or I can go directly into the 12-volt outlet. I'll go directly into the 12-volt outlet just to make things easy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn this on. And we see that we have the red light on here, and that all of our settings should be saved when we remove this battery. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and remove the brackets that are actually holding down the battery. Now, I'm using an extension with a 12mm socket. Now, we are replacing the battery on a 2013 Kia Optima. So let's get these bracket bolts out. Connecting the battery, there are a few things that you need to know. The first thing is always take off your negative first and then following the positive. And we're going to actually reverse this when we install the battery. So that means that we're going to put our positive flow on first and then put on our negative. All right, so let's go ahead and start by taking off the negative cable. So we're using a 10mm socket to remove this battery cable. And we're removing the negative side first. Now, something else that you do want to be aware of when you're taking off this battery is you want to try to keep it as level as possible. Same thing when you're installing the new battery, is try to keep the battery as level as possible. So let's go ahead and remove this negative terminal. And we'll put that to the side. And now we're going to go ahead and remove the positive cable. And this is still with the 10mm socket. All right, now we should be able to finagle the battery out. Now that we've got this battery removed, we're going to want to put this to the side and keep it so we can put this back to the store for its core charge. Now, if your battery does have a covering, you're going to want to remove that from the old battery and go ahead and place this on the outside of the new battery. You want to make sure that you're keeping this as level as possible when you're installing your new battery. go ahead and remove all of your cables that you can into the most outward position that's possible. So as I told you before, we're going to be replacing the positive side first. So you're going to want to go ahead and remove the positive terminal cover. Now that the positive side is in, let's go ahead and lock this down. Close that up. And before we install our negative cable, we're going to go ahead and install our bracket back. This is our mounting bracket. This is what keeps the battery in a nice stable position while we're driving around and going over all those nice bumps and vibrations when we're driving. So we are using a 12mm socket as well as an extension to get down and be able to tighten this. Make sure you position the battery exactly where you want it, where it's in a nice stable position, and then go ahead and tighten it. That's it, the battery's secure. Now the next step is going to go ahead and install your negative cable. And make sure that these are tightened so nothing comes loose and there is good contact and a good connection. Now, once we finish this, we can go ahead and remove our memory saver, and we should have not lost any settings, whether it was from our radio to our seats to even the computer system in the car. All right, let's go inside the car and let's see if we lost any settings. All right, so if we have done this properly and we've used the memory saver correctly, then we shouldn't have lost any of our preset radio stations or any other settings that are in the car. And the way to verify this is if you do have a modern car, usually when you take out the battery, you will lose all of your presets on the radio. So our first initial check will be to go ahead and turn this car on for the first time, and let's go ahead and see if we've lost any presets. Well, it looks good, guys. We have all of our preset stations still here. We haven't lost settings, and this is the way that you're gonna go ahead and change your battery on a modern car. I hope this video has helped, guys. Please give me a big like and subscribe to the channel so I can bring you guys more content on a daily basis.